Homeport is a nonprofit organization founded here in Columbus, Ohio. Their mission is to create strong, affordable homes and communities in the Central Ohio area. They are financed with private investment, mostly leveraged by federal tax credits, and they target vulnerable populations and neighborhoods here through building homes, rehabbing historical homes, and having multiple rental properties in these specific vulnerable neighborhoods. The main goals and objectives is to focus on long-term stability. So they do that through programs, out-of-school programs, free produce, school supplies, but their main goal and objective is to do it through home ownership. So they have group classes, coaching strictly around home buying, setting budgets, and avoiding foreclosures. We're going to do a SWOT analysis today, which is a way to identify areas of fit and misfit with the organization and the external and internal environments. The goal of this is to take a look at the organization as a whole and where does the focus need to be to move forward. It can be very complex, but the goal of the SWOT analysis is just to make it very simple and basic. So we'll start with the external environment, so external factors that are influencing us. Start first with the opportunities, which are the positive external factors that are influencing us and giving Homeport as an organization the opportunity to expand their mission. First, there are lots of neighborhoods within the Central Ohio community that are in need of help. So currently they're only in a few neighborhoods, but Homeport has the opportunity to expand throughout all of Central Ohio because there is so much need. Something that's an opportunity and a threat is funding. Currently it's an opportunity because there's a lot of funding out there from the federal government, but this could also be a threat in the future that the federal government won't have as much funding or will not be supplying as much to Homeport as well as other organizations. A threat is an external environmental factor that compromise and or restrict the ability for Homeport to do their work. Another example of a threat for Homeport is their investors that are coming into these communities, understanding that the price of these communities are very low, and then they're renovating these homes and driving up the price. This is going to be a huge threat for Homeport in the future. Opportunities and threats are external factors, so also need to look at internal factors of Homeport as an organization. So looking at their internal operations, both their capacities, capabilities internally, is starting with their strengths. So their strengths are the ability and how they can enhance their ability to pursue their mission. So starting there's the multiple different markets that Homeport is currently in. So they are in the buying and renting market as well as single family and multifamily. They've positioned themselves to be able to hit multiple different markets. In addition, they're the largest nonprofit builder in Columbus, Ohio. Very recognizable name with both the community as well as the state and federal government. Their weaknesses, so internal operation that are restricting them currently and that they need to improve as an organization. The number one weakness that Homeport has is they have a lot of people who work for them who were previously and have been at nonprofits before, but do not have the experience and understanding of home building. This is an easy weakness to fix, but it's very important that this is a focus for Homeport. All this SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, both internal and external, looking at, it just helps us identify where we need to focus efforts. Homeport needs to focus efforts in the future. They're fundamentally a strong organization. Their opportunities and their strengths are outweighing their threats and weaknesses, definitely. You can definitely see how there might be a few more threats, but they're nothing that's nerve-wracking. When looking at this as a whole, the biggest threat is the investors coming in and driving up the prices. So Homeport needs to be on the cutting edge of finding new neighborhoods so that they're ready and they're purchasing in these neighborhoods prior to the investors. In addition, they need to find more and additional stability in funding. Just because there is federal tax money now does not mean that it's going to be there in the future. As you can see, this basic SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunity, and threats, has given us a great look at Homeport as an organization as a whole and will help us understand the organization.